I thought they didn't even know what I'm talking about. So they kept quiet.
What of all? What does all do?
All, he did all. Something look up.
Look up.
Yes. You see? Did I try
Just
all that?
try small. Okay. Okay, I think we stopped at. Let's see, this was attendance.
So it's shaking.
So laptop is low. But this thing is not stable, so you don't have to shake this part. So we stopped at what did we stop with itself? Okay, we finished the basic function. We talked about the date function. And so we are going to talk about the statistical basis.
See that? So you have a way of learning to participate. You want to listen, and they give you for them. Like,
Okay, we are going to continue with the statistical function. Document. So the first thing, just open up that file. I think you should still have it on your system. The statistics, one of statistics. So we are going to be a little bit fast. I'll finish up this today. This week three, Abby.
yes, okay.
So before the end of this week, we should start do a mini project on data cleaning. And by next week, we should start our actual project.
You want to copy with that flash? No, copy from that flash. It's there now. That, remember we use flash to copy some files. Look for functions and formulas. You can just search on the keyboard and then you search back enter it. Then statistical functions. Listen. Open it so
You don't have it. You don't have the file. Who's with the
Yeah.
flash drive? I'm not with my flash drive. Wait, don't you have Excel? I think I copied this. I copied for you that day, maybe.
Yeah.
You too. And I copied the Excel file. I think I copied the raw file for you. Have you installed the Excel on your laptop?
As I said, I still use the one
Eh?
I had some.
Okay, you have some things. Okay.
Well, I had it on my system.
So where's your flash drive? I didn't bring my flash drive today.
Was at least they said in this complex.
Yes, sir, downstairs office. Yeah, downstairs
This
office.
office downstairs. This text is downstairs.
The ITS downstairs.
I'll look at that test.
Yes. Flash drive, flash drive. It depends on the one you want to buy. 6,000 is 4,000. Yes. 6,000 is 16 gig. Okay, while we are waiting for him to come back, we just explore what statistic is. So, statistic is the science of collecting, organizing, analyzing, and interpret data so that we can make decision or uncover insight. So most of the time when you are doing data analysis, you'll be using statistics to some certain degree. In addition to normal maths, you're still going to be using statistics to a certain degree. So why math deals with certainty, that is 1 plus 1 is equals to 2 and so on and so forth. So it is more about uncertainty, right? For example, you're talking about probability, how your data is being distributed, things that are not always the same in every data set, things that change it, that are variable, that varies based on the data you're working with. That's what statistics has to deals with most of the time. So this is an example. What's the chance of a customer return next month? Using your data, you're going to make a educated guess, either using correlation, using your mode. If they return a certain amount of time, they are more likely to return the next month. So there are different calculations that are used to make these guesses, right? And that's what we are going to talk about. We are going to implement some of them. So the first function when it comes to statistics, this is one of the most simplest one, is your mean or your average. So your mean talks about like the central point of your data. So the way you calculate the mean, or more or less the balance point of your data, they used to call it central tendency, something like that. That's what they used to call it. Right? It talks about where your data balances, the middle point of your data. So in order to calculate your mean, all you do is to calculate your mean, that's your average, you will sum the total value, all the values, sum them, then you divide it by the total numbers of value that you have. That will give you more or less like a centralized point of your data, right? That's how you calculate the mean. And mean is used to show, okay, it's like going to summarize your data. Okay, if I want a unified value for this data, right, the middle will be a very good value for that. If you want to summarize your data and represent it using one data, as opposed to, let's say, the sum, you can as well use the mean, the middle of the data, to act like a placeholder for that data. That's what the mean is all about. So this is the formula of your mean. You can see here. This is the formula of your mean. This one. This is summation of x, that's your points, divided by numbers of points. That's the actual formula for your mean.
Summation of what?
Just repeat.
Is there? Well, I will give you this note later, so you don't need to write. It's what you are not seeing on this note. That's what you should take note of, not everything. So the mean is mostly used as a measure of central tendency. Right? If you want to kind of know, okay, this what this data is all about. Want to have like a singular value for that talks about your data, you can use the mean instead of using the sum. But sometimes the sum might be too big, so you can as well use the mean to represent your data as a context of a total as one value. You can use your mean to just represent the data. But you expect that every value are somewhat related to your mean. So use your mean as a way to represent your data instead of summing it. Right? It's also called the measure of central tendency. But there is a limitation of mean, which is that it is very sensitive to extreme values, outliers. What that means is if I have, let's look at this example here. I have 60, 50, 60, 70, and 100, right? If I divide this by 4, I think I should have about 56.7 or something like that, right? Let me just go over to here. Let's do here. This is an example. Say 50, this is the first value, 60, 70, 100, right? If I sum this, okay, I think I included, this should be 6, 3, 4, 5, okay, 6. Then I divide this by the sum divided by 4.